dude.
Nice
Have a great time.
First impressions, we all make them. So what was the first impression you made when you saw me being walked on stage? Was it my dapper suit? My handsome features? Or did you realize I was blind? That first impression, how will that impact on how you listen to my talk today, and what will be the impression that lasts once I've left the stage? Hopefully, it won't be my funny Rochdale accent, but rather the message I wish to share, that I believe I've seen more than if I could see. That's a challenge indeed, but the prize, if I succeed, would be breaking down some of the ideas and perceptions you may have of disability. Can't seen-ness is often mistaken for can't do-ness. Growing up as a child, I always loved sport. The only real sports club I was able to access after school was Tenpin Bowling. And this is because it was adapted for those who were visually impaired. My real passion was for football, and it was only halfway through high school I realized my dream of being able to play on an even playing field could become a reality. So you may ask, how do blind people play football? I didn't think it was possible either, until it was showcased to me at a Disability Sports Have a Go Day event called Playground to Podium. So blind football. It's a five-a-side sport played with 4 outfield players who are completely blind and 1 fully sighted goalkeeper. Boards go down the side of the pitch. They help players with their echolocation and also stop us from running off. We have guides that stand behind the goal that we're shooting towards and on halfway line, and they basically give us audible instructions to help kind of guide us. And defending players must use the word voy. Most importantly, the ball makes a sound to help us locate it. As you can hear, it does make quite a distinct sound because there's ball bearings in the panels which make a noise when it's rolled to kind of, let us to hear it, because obviously we can't really see it. We can't see it because when we're playing, to eliminate any light perception that we might have, we wear blindfolds. So, yeah, what you can't see can't hurt you. Who knew? So I started playing blind football as a hobby, and at the age of 16, I was old enough to take part in the National Blind Football League. Last October, I got a call up to train with the England squad, and early this year, I made my senior debut out in Japan. The aim for 2019 is to train and become the best player I can be to help England finish in the top 2 of the European Championships, which will give us qualification, fingers crossed, to the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics. Paul Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne is one of my heroes. Like me, he also had the honor of representing his country. He also had the honor of stepping onto the pitch and singing the national anthem. Sadly, the blind squad don't get the publicity or coverage or exposure that the first team do. Like Paul Gascoigne will explain in this video, playing for your country, wearing that shirt, singing the national anthem, means everything to me, just like it did to him. That is something that me and my hero have in common.
To play for your country is something else. It's just putting on that shirt, walking up that tunnel, the noise and the buzz. Where I grew up, there's a park where you play football and you just put the jackets down and that. God, I'm so proud. That's where I learned me football, you know, and I think how proud I am to play for my country. I absolutely loved it, you know, I thrived on it. I couldn't wait for the next game. You know, just wearing the shirt with the England badge on us, you can't beat it.
So you may think playing football without sight is a challenge, but when I mentioned to my family and friends about doing a Tough Mudder, their initial reaction was, how will you be able to do that when you can't see? I challenged that concept and overcame the odds when I completed it in 2016. Tough Mudder, for a person with a visual impairment, can be seen as an almost impossible obstacle. An obstacle course indeed, but I chose to see it as a challenge. Tough Mudder is a 12-mile mud and obstacle course designed to drag you out your comfort zone, testing your physical strength, stamina, and mental grip. With no podiums, winners, or clocks to race against, it's not about how fast you can cross the finish line, but rather a challenge that emphasizes teamwork, camaraderie, and accomplishing something almost as tough as you are. I saw this as an opportunity to raise money for the Manchester Royal Eye Hospital. The hospital have supported myself and my family in ensuring I have the best care and development with my eyes since birth. It was a chance to give something back. Do something that no one really thought a blind person could do. Tough Mudder was meant to be a challenge for anyone, but attempting each obstacle without sight meant I was highly reliant on my other senses and my fellow team member, who incidentally was my old PE teacher from high school. He wanted to say, "Ah." Willpower was the main factor that got me through. That and sheer craziness. The toughest obstacle in the Tough Mudder for me was the one where I had to drag myself up and sit with my bum hanging out at the end of a pipe and fall back into a pool of muddy, icy water. I didn't know how I'd land, how deep it was, or how I'd get out. The only thing I could think about was, how do I get out of this situation? Oh no, I can't. I sat there for what felt like the longest 5 minutes of my life, and I conveniently also remembered I'd signed a death waiver. So, luckily, I'm here today to tell the story, so when I did fall back, I didn't die. But would I do it again? The money raised that year. Okay, the money raised that year, almost £5,000, was put towards the Rainbow Room at the Manchester Children's Hospital. The Rainbow Room. The Rainbow Room is a room where parents can spend precious time with their babies who were still born or who had passed away soon after birth. I thought to myself, if I had the opportunity to raise that much money again for such an amazing cause, would I? Absolutely yes. So putting aside death-defying challenges and Olympic dreams, let's think of the real challenges, everyday life. When I was at the age to start school, my parents were given the opportunity to send me to a mainstream school or a special school. Why shouldn't I get the same opportunities that my cousins did, who were over a similar age, just because I couldn't see? My parents and family supported me in my own belief that I could achieve all expectations. However, I don't think they realized how far I wanted these expectations to go. I was given a support worker at school, not for learning support, but as a visual aid to prepare resources to ensure my ability could shine through. The most frustrating thing about school was that my support worker would be sat next to me when really she didn't have to be. This was because worksheets would be handed out, and because they weren't prepared beforehand, I wasn't able to access them without her reading them to me. If she had been given them before, she would have been able to put them in a format that I was able to access independently. Even something that little, that at that age meant so much to me, because it was that independence and being able to do things on your own that meant so much. Compared to the 19-year-olds in the world today, I genuinely believe that I've been able to see and experience more than most. I was given the obstacle of can't-seeiness or blindness. However, with the right attitudes and support, it's become a whole host of opportunities with a lot more to come. I want you now to go back to that first impression you made of me. Yes, I can't see, but there's lots I can do. Life-endangering challenges, becoming an elite athlete, and enjoying education, just to name a few. When you next meet a person with a disability, will you look through the tiny window of what they can't do, or open your eyes and mind to all that is possible? Remember, can't-seeiness does not mean can't-doness. I'm Azeem Amir, and I have seen more than if I could see. Thank you.